Welcome back. It's Bullet to Bedpans. We've got Dee Tox, myself, MZ,
Hello.
and the one, the only, Mr. Shannon Book. Part 2, bringing us the deuce.
He's dying to
You guys
say
ready to go?
something. Can you see his head's about
Get it
ready to
out.
explode? He really wants to say.
Hi, it's me. What's up?
I'm back.
Hi there, me again.
Just so you know, when you thought it was safe to go outside, we're back.
So we had to do a second intro because we decided to go part 2. And now we're going to bring you to our current, how's that go? Remember that
It's a
on
whole
TV?
new level
No.
of jacked up. I'm just kidding.
Now we're going to bring you to our current, how's it go?
Oh, yeah. Now back to our regular scheduled program.
There it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, back to our regularly scheduled program.
We're going to jump right in where we left off with Shannon. We're going to give you part 2. Okay. Let me ask, when did you feel like you were like, okay, I don't think we ever fully arrived, but you can say, hey, look, I came over here and most of me followed me. This is great. I mean, where?
Man, dude, let me tell you, that's a really good question. I can honestly tell you that started 3 years ago.
Yeah. I say that with intent, right? Because people don't understand. It's not like you just get out and then a year later, like you're transitioned and off you go. And it's like, no, it's a journey and everybody's different. I mean, I would say that now I'm just kind of feeling like I'm getting back to my normal speed, and feeling a lot like myself and shedded a lot of layers.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you a stupid question. Like being an author, like there's a lot of things you've done outside of your scope of practice to research and find who you are today.
Oh yeah. Yeah. A lot of
you didn't just walk out of a freaking an Air Force clinical setting and be like, hey, you know what? So today I'm gonna do this. This is who I am today.
Yeah, no. No, it's just an evolving. I'm like an abstract painting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Like the paint splatter kind.
Literally wrote the book on how to transition.
Hold on. Hold that thought.
Shannon's like, wait, I got some art for you.
Where's he going?
This is my original. I did this not too long ago. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. For the audience, I know they won't be able to see it, but
I know, but
it's really cool.
Everybody who's not be able to see this looks like
actually. No. What you need to do, you need to take a picture of that because I sent you a form.
We'll put it on the thumbnail.
No, we'll put it on for we advertise it.
See, we've got a painting that's gold framed in this beautiful embellished frame, and it's got all sorts of bright colors. Shannon, talk us through that?
It could be like so many things.
So we were doing art therapy at this little songwriters retreat, and I told you, like, I used to love to sketch and paint, and so our day was literally like, hey, so what are you gonna do today? I'm like, well, I'm gonna sit down in front of this canvas and I'm just gonna start playing with blades, and that's what I did. Like, there's tons of texture in here. There are blotches. And so I basically just took what I saw at my disposal, and then I put it on a canvas, and this is where my brain took me.
You know what I thought when I first saw it?
Beautiful.
I thought Paris when I first saw it.
It's funny that you say that, because it looks kind of like a little cityscape from like a park.
Yeah, like
I was thinking park. There's a tree. There's a little bridge over there. You've got the sky.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in Paris? They have a area where the street artists all are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it reminded me of. And then there's the Lions Bridge up there, and right below it.
Right down by the Louvre and all that stuff. Yeah,
that's what it reminded me of when I saw that.
Yeah, that's so cool.
That tells us a lot about Shannon's brain versus mine. I did art therapy once, and where you created something beautiful, mine was literally a white piece of paper with various colors, my thumbprint going in the shape of a no.
Right.
Didn't want to be there, didn't want to participate, didn't want to do anything that they had to offer. So it tells me a lot about where your head was that day.
Hold on. I'm going to give you some perspective, because A, I'm a huge fan of yours, and B, like, I get it. You're like this is stupid. This is stupid. This is stupid. Why the fuck?
In that moment, yes.
Right. But what you don't understand is that you connected with a piece of your brain the very moment you did that whole no in different colors.
Mm-hmm.
And you still created art.
Even against
Not
your
only
will.
did you create art, not only you were that's anti-hero art, man. You're like, fuck this people. Like whatever.
I'll play your stupid game.
You could hold it up in protest.
That's total like Joker kind of art.
Yeah.
And then I came back to work and gave it to a friend.
And I bet it's hanging on a wall.
Probably
Oh
is.
man, who knows?
That's
so
funny.
my point is that your brain is not. Look, we say this all the time. Like my brain is much different. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I promise you, if you think for one moment that I wasn't that toxic asshole being like, fuck you, no, that was me too. I was that guy. I was that guy that was expecting Uncle Sam to pick me up and ride me off into the future. At the end of the day, I was not that guy. Like, it's not Uncle Sam's responsibility to take care of me when I signed my DD 214. It's not their responsibility anymore.
It's on us to address it,
right?
To fix
They've
it,
already
to
given me
show
all
up
the
and
freaking
do
information.
do the work.
Right? They've already given me all the information of where to go get the rest of my information.
Yeah, they can't do it for you. We
don't
gotta do
have
it for
time,
ourselves.
the resources.
Right.
And that's the other thing. My friends, like, I'm like, well, my friends will always be here. They don't have
Nah.
time, bro. They're too worried about taking care of their own career because that's important too. That's how
Actually,
they feed their family.
funny you say that. I had a JTAC that was got very hurt. Story's irrelevant, but got very hurt and comes home. And as soon as I start working with him, I'm like, oh yeah, we're MEB. And he didn't know that yet though. And he was very
Disgruntled.
Yeah, he went through the grieving process and I got a lot of phone calls, you know, he was kind of venting. But one of the things that was happening is they made a sim at his base for the 360 sim. And it was super cool because they would go in there and do their exercises and they could actually call the hogs down in Arizona to jimmy them up to do casts, right? To close air. And they were very busy with that and getting ready for a deployment. And they were supposed to do a retirement for him. And nobody had time to do it between those two things. And he was very angry, very, very angry at them. He's like, they turned their back on me. There's nobody. Right. But it
wasn't his chain of command's fault. It was the expectation that you deserve this.
But look at why this happens. This happens because we are built up when we're in the military. Like, you are so critical. You have to. We need you. I mean, I used to joke all the time, like, when the compliments come, I'm like, here comes the voluntold, right? Because, like, nobody's complimenting unless they want something. But we don't really digest that comment. And then we're out on the other side, and then it hits us. Like, they really...
Oh, yeah.
Like, whoa, I was just another cog in the wheel.
I was a cog in the wheel for your mission.
Right. And then I lost a couple teeth, and they were like, "Oh fuck, we're gonna have to replace it."
Yeah, sorry. You know, so that's just kind of a important thing. Now, can I ask? And you can keep it light. We don't need details. But what was your medical retirement for?
Post-traumatic stress and a traumatic brain injury.
Yeah, PTSD, TBI,
chronic, severe post-traumatic stress. That's legitimate, literally on my record, and mild to moderate TBI.
Yeah, and so we are human. Right. We do a lot of freaking cool things. And we're like, I mean, hell, there were days I distinctly remember a day we delivered a baby and the doctor hands it to me and says, dead. That's what the doctor says to me.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you want to say a prayer fast? I was like, somebody just make my hands work. I don't need my brain. I just need my hands working. And, you know, the team, you know, saved the baby and saved mommy and everybody was happy. We do that because that's how we're trained. It doesn't mean that it doesn't affect us.
Right. Listen, I'm going to say this, and I don't know where we're going from this point on, but like I'm going to say this about what you just said. When we're taught as medical professionals, we're always taught, don't make it personal, 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 don't get attached, don't get attached. I'm going to tell you right now, some of the best providers I've ever experienced and or worked with are people who are personally involved.
Yes.
And I promise you, I never I never, not once. Like, I might give you a hard time for walking in and showing me your penis because you got something dripping out of it. But I promise you, I want to take care of it. At the end of the day, I just want
The
you to be
ones who
okay.
show up and give a shit.
Right. I just want you to be okay. And at the
Right.
end of the day, to me, I'd be a horrible provider. I can be a sociopath. You don't want to see that guy.
Yeah,
You don't
disconnect.
want to see that guy because that dude is just cold, cruel, and doesn't give a shit how you feel.
Yep.
Because 9 times out of 10, I don't give a shit about how I feel in that moment. But you are not a good provider unless you can make it or empathize with what's going on, period. And that makes it personal. And I don't give a shit what clinician. If you're going to teach, shut up and teach. It's going to
Regardless of specialty, yeah.
It's going to be personal. I don't give a shit who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree. I used to get accused in my last job of enabling. I was like, well, you go ask them how much I enable. Go right ahead. I'll hand you all their phone numbers. I'm pretty sure that's not
that's another side of that. Like, there are other people out there that are like, they like to jump on the horse. And I get what you're saying. But there are other people that like to jump on the horse and just ride that fucking horse until it's dead.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I
So
agree.
some people, whether we realize it or not, we are enabling them. We don't need to, but it's like there's those people that you just can't tell whether they're genuine or they're just riding the.
Well, I'll challenge this thought. I understand what you're saying, but I think that percentage is super tiny.
You're not wrong.
I say that there are times that you have to carry people and they can't even put a foot down. As soon as they can get a toe down, then they're handling that level of accountability or whatever it is they need to be doing. And when they can get more, the agreement is, look, I'll carry you because you need it for a little time. As soon as you are able to even put a pinky toe down, you're on. We're going to help you. You know, so there's that. Because when people don't let their feet hit the ground or that person doesn't let them take the step, that's when we get into a problem. But when you are dealing in our career fields, when you are dealing with these service members that they've been fine this whole time and then they're not, and they don't know the system. Hell, shit, I'm a damn nurse. I didn't even know the system half the time because it was so convoluted.
Well, the system is bureaucratical, so it doesn't
Right.
really
So
matter what
they're trying to go through it and they don't even know what they don't know.
Right.
You got to give
Like the
them.
blind leading the blind out there.
Right, exactly. So I would say that, there's a couple, trust me, I ran into them. But when you're giving consistent care, those people stand out like that. They're very quick to pick out. I can think of the 8 years of my last job, 2 come to mind. And I was like, drop you like a hot potato, not doing it. But otherwise, I don't think that was the case. I think there was just always a level of, carrying until they could get on their feet, and
Well, I'm sure you've heard the song, Footprints. In the sand. Jesus Christ is always carrying me. I realized that I looked down that there's only one set of footprints, and that was God carrying me. That was Jesus carrying me, or whatever. So I wrote a song called "Walking," which was my experience of walking through the days of life where I didn't want to be here anymore and I was tired. And then looking down and realizing that it was God was carrying me through it when I didn't realize that.
Well, see, there you go, right? I mean, there is a time and a place for all of it. Right. It's just when one part of it's abused, so to speak, then we get in problems. So you kind of led into another segue, music. I told you this before we ever hit this podcast.
Yeah, you want me to play a song? Is that what you're asking?
You get to pick it, but you can pick the song.
I mean, you do what you want to do with this. I'm cool with it. Like I'm hanging out. You guys are awesome. It doesn't bother me at all.
I feel like we'd be remiss if we didn't ask our friend Shannon. You were kind enough to show us
my painting,
a piece of your life, and your painting.
I want a picture with the painting.
Another medium.
There's always another medium, girl.
So let's hear one. I think this is a good way to go out.
Oh, I can't. Song of my choice, huh?
You get song of your choice, whatever you want people to hear.
the black, and we're never looking back. You may never like what I do, or all the ways I make it through. Well, I'm not gonna change, and you don't have to stay. Welcome to American Made. Remember how the West was won, battles are fought and wrongs were done, but we stand on the right side of our hearts. Though things look bleak, we'll never run. Rusted fast to face the gun. Our lives are pledged to prevent tyranny start. We are guarded in the black, and we're never looking back. You ain't ever like what we do, or all the ways we make it through. We're not gonna change, and you don't have to stay. Welcome to American Made. Fourscore and a long time ago, our forefathers created this nation to keep us all free. Well, that's how we like it, and that's how we're gonna keep it. If you want to be here, feel free. But don't ask us to change for you. That's not how it works here. We're American made. We are guarded in the black, and we're never looking back. You may never like what we do, or all the ways we make it through. We're not gonna change, and you don't have to stay. Welcome to American Made.
I'm so glad, man, you said yes to this and took the time to hang out.
Listen, it's been a privilege being on here and actually getting to talk to you guys and be a part of what you guys are doing. I think that what you guys are doing is awesome, and I think that there needs to be people need to be open to learning about themselves.
That's a really good statement.
This right here, I think, like, as long as you guys continue to do what I see you guys doing, bringing real people on to talk about real situations and experiencing real things with that, like, I think this is it's a gold mine. And I don't mean a gold mine to making money. I mean, it's a gold mine spiritually.
Yeah, there's no money here. Top to bottom, we're all volunteers. I don't say that
Right.
sarcastically, but this whole network is volunteer, executive director down. So we do it
Right.
because, well, we want to bring the information and we want to bring it in modalities that people get. So, some of the podcasts are a little more intense. Some of them, like ours, are a little more lighthearted and a little more sass, a little more wit. But
I mean, I promise you, if you wanted to make this heavy, we can talk about it.
no, we don't want to make it heavy. We all got heavy. That's not the problem. We just want to know how the hell do we walk through that shit, right? Like
Yeah, man.
the rule
That's
is
it. Like,
mud and rope,
Let-
right? Mud and rope. The person themselves, they have to go through the mud, and everybody else just gets to launch a rope at them, and
right.
it's up to them to be able to grab that rope or ropes or whatever to get themselves out. But as hard as it is to watch, we all know the only person that can get themselves out of it is them.
And
Right.
lucky for us, there's people out there like Shannon who are willing to cut the smoke, cut the bullshit, hold the mirror up, and be honest and real and genuine, no matter how ugly it may be in that moment. I think that's a powerful testimony that you have, and it inspires me, and I'm sure there's going to be somebody listening that feels the same way, that's impacted in such a profound way that it leads them to their own recovery. And that's what this is all about. This is not a cookie cutter one-stop shop. What works for me is going to work for you. It's a unique journey, and thank you for being transparent with us and letting us know really just what that looked like.
It was my pleasure and it was my privilege. I think if I had to leave anybody with any words, and I don't really necessarily want to get deep in the weeds, but like the story of Galileo, it's called The Cave. And it's literally about somebody who was chained to a wall in a cave. And all they saw were the shadows being cast on the wall from the fire, and how scary everything outside of that shackled chain was. And then he finally gets free, and then he gets to go outside and see the reality of what it is. And he's so afraid of what it is that he sees there that he's more comfortable in the chains.
That is I use a different version of that, but yes, we get comfortable in our darkness because we know our way around that place. We know every nook and corner, and we know where the boogeyman is, but we're afraid of the light because we don't know our way around. So very
well,
good.
it's like being in your own shit. Like,
yep.
It stinks and it's horrible, but at least it's warm.
Yep.
At least it's warm.
Yep. Agreed.
Not knowing if you just make your way up to the top, put in some work, we have the potential for turning that shitty situation into something beautiful. And as cheesy as it might sound, it makes me think of a lotus flower. Yeah, it's born in the mud and has to come all the way to the top before it finally gets to...
Literally what that is right there.
There you go. On his hand.
Yeah.
The lotus flower.
That's it.
It's good.
So, but in the reality, you're absolutely right. So, just... don't be afraid to take a look inside and take a look at what you've got going on. Yeah. I think if you really want to transition, then you should transition. If you want to go back, then you should have thought about that before you did it. But if you're ready to transition, then just transition. Stop trying to go backwards, because yesterday's gone.
Yep.
It's over.
Yeah, you got different glory days to live now. Doesn't mean the glory days are gone.
Create your own glory days.
That's right.
Create your own glory days.
Ain't nobody gonna hand it to us.
Nope.
Yep. And Shannon's doing that. You can hear his music. Where's your music?
Everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon.
They just look up Shannon Book.
YouTube. Yeah, Shannon Book Music or Shannon Book. If you put my name into Google, I promise you
it will pop up.
The listing will pop up.
Yes, he will. He's on IG. That's where we met. Indirectly.
I have two websites that are about to be revamped. One's called shannonbookmusic.com and the other one is deliberatelybroken.com, and one's for the band and one's for me, but I'm gonna work on getting all that stuff
good
squared away and all that stuff too. So
good things are happening, and I know we'll be in touch because we're all working on some projects together. And so
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, secret squirrel. Now I plug it all the time. We have the radio station coming up, the radio stream here, Coming Home Well radio stream, and we're very excited.
Heard something about metal and shit. I don't know.
I'll keep that as the shush part. You, MZ, and Shannon have a little special project going on, and that will eventually be coming out in the radio station. And so somewhere this year there'll be
smelly EOD guy that's going to work with us.
Yeah, he's probably somewhere eating crayons right now.
Probably eating crayons and or drinking a Natty Light somewhere.
Oh gosh!
Give him a little credit, Shannon. It's PBR.
No, he's a Natty Light guy. Trust me.
It's all NASCAR beer. Damn.
He's a Natty Light guy.
Lordy. All right. We're going to wrap this up. Thank you for listening, everybody. This is Bullets to Bedpans, and we are done. Peace out.
Ooh.